Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in a half shell.
Turtle power, they're the world's most fearsome fighting team.
We're really hip.
They're heroes in a half shell and they're green.
Hey, get a grip.
When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut him no slack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens.
He's a radical rat.
Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines.
It's a fact, Jack.
Raphael is cool but rude.
Give me a break.
Michelangelo is a party dude.
Woo-hoo!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes in a half shell.
Turtle power. Hey guys, Heman 1010 here on another episode of He-Man's Critique. And today, after long waiting time, after 2 different polls, we are finally ready to review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo. Take a look at the proof. Look at the proof. This is the Turtles in Time cartridge. It is moving, but the camera's focus will never go on it, because the camera is a piece of shit. So, I played this game on plenty of different difficulties. I played it over and over again, beaten the game plenty of times, and I am finally ready to review this game. Without further ado, let's get started. So, you don't really get much of an introduction here, except, April O'Neil reports the news. Big, gushy Krang brain thing in sumo wrestling outfit steals the statue. Shredder shows up on the TV, even though he wasn't the one who stole the statue. Turtle soup. And then you cut to the turtles sitting down watching TV, because they don't have anything better to do, practice those ninja skills, practice anything else. They're just sitting there all watching TV with Master Splinter, who you don't think would watch TV, because he's back in the olden Japanese days, practicing all that awesome Taekwondo ninjutsu stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for the introduction cutscene. You don't have much, just statue was stolen. You have to go get it back. Cliche bullshit, but who am I to judge? So, you have a selection of 4 different characters. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. Normally, I would pick Michelangelo off the bat, but most of the time, I won't because he doesn't have that much of a range, or my sister will take him before I get the chance to. So, on the most part, I end up using Leonardo, or, which I prefer, Donatello, due to the range, and it does the same amount of damage. It gives you a better time trying to, level the playing field here. So, we're going to start with Big Apple. Now, Big Apple, you just go through a certain mirage of enemies. You're going through the bridge. You fight just a couple of Foot Clan soldiers, and that's that. So after you fight them for a while, you get to see a giant Krang. Mr. Krang now has electric eyeballs. And right off the bat, you notice one mistake. You'll be fighting the Foot Clan soldiers, or you can fight any enemy, and the obstacles will only hit you. So they could sit there, they'll grab you while you're right at that obstacle, and it'll shock you, but it won't shock them. So that just means that they could constantly spam fuck the shit out of you, keep doing that crap, and then you'll just die, and die, and die. Now, never happened to me at the first level, I'll tell you that. But I will say that it's a pain in the ass, even in easy mode, which... pretty sure the arcade game had less trouble. I mean, it may have been difficult, but it wasn't as difficult as easy mode on the Super Nintendo game. Now, in the arcade game, you got to go to 4 players. Super Nintendo only allows up to 2 players. Not really nitpicky about that, because, you still get twice the health bars and stuff, so levels out. So, once you get to the end of the first level, you get to Baxter Stockman. Must terminate the turtles! So, he has, like, in easy mode, you just see that he'll just fly around, shoot his gun at you, shoot a hand at you while in the air. Not much of a big deal, but one problem is, and you will notice this every time, you're on the same angle as them, you look like you're leveling with them, so you could jump up and attack them, and then you'll find out you're like an inch off. Or maybe even worse. Like, you can't realize, like, you can't see where the hell he's at. Like, you'll go, you think you're leveling with them, you're about to attack them, but then when you attack them, all that happens is you don't get shit out of it, and you'll get hit. Problem. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy this game, but how is it that I notice all this bullshit the first level? I'm not trying to be an elitist here, but last time I checked, the arcade game didn't do that bullshit either. I don't normally criticize stuff for being unlike the original, but you see, when you're remaking a game, people don't just go, "Oh, it's too easy, make it harder. Please make this game harder." Because the arcade game was hard. It was hard. I could tell. You could just look at footage and tell it was really hard. Alright, so, on to the second level. I don't quite remember what it was called, so, we'll just base it off my favorite pizza place, Streets of New York. Yeah, that's what we'll call it, Streets of New York. So, in this level, you pretty much go through the same as the first level, except you get introduced to the bomb pizza, which, instead of healing, it gives you a bit of invincibility, and it allows you to be like Saitama and get a bunch of one-hit kills. This is something that you might want to wait before you use. I make the mistake every time where I use it as soon as I see it. And trust me, there's going to be times, no matter what difficulty you're on, a shit ton of enemies, difficult ones at that, will show up. It's best to wait until you get to that point if you're still on that path. So, at the end of that, you get to Metalhead. I'm going to mangle you, slime balls. See, with him, he's pretty darn easy. Just wait and wait. He'll jump around, and that's pretty much the most likely thing you'll get hit from. You just keep hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. He'll be, like, done right off the bat. But, one issue I've noticed here, you only get, like, 3 or 4 hits in, unless you're playing in 2-player mode, which, why the hell do I need a second player if I just want to get a shit ton of hits in? That's ridiculous! Like, you'll only get 4 hits in, when in the arcade game, you could get more and more and more and more and more hits in, no matter what you're doing. Like, what the fuck? What is this shit? What is this bullshit? So, then you get to the third level, sewer surfing, and this is where the major differences come in. See, normally, in the arcade game, it would take more hits to send them down. In the, Super Nintendo version, one hit, dead, 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 dead. The only hard part in this whole level is the, big cage-looking things with the spikes that drop down. It's like the bosses, you don't know if you're at the correct angle, and so the best thing to do is go to the far right of the screen. Yeah, I totally knew how to do that the first time going around. So, after going through all the stuff, unlike the arcade game where Shredder will immediately send you to prehistoric Turtlesaurus, you get an extra boss fight and about 2 or 3 extra levels. I think, yeah, 2. And so, in these extra levels, first, you get to fight Rat King at the end of Sewer Surfing. After you fight these, what the fuck is that? I'm sorry, but it looks like the Xenomorph alien just rolled around in a bunch of cheese mashed potatoes. So, moving on. Rat King, just like the rest of them, he can be fairly easy. All he does is just shoot 2 missiles, drops a bunch of red shit, then you get plenty of hits in. He's easier to hit than the rest of the bosses, to tell you the truth. And then, when we get to the 2 extra levels, get to the Technodrome Part 1 and Technodrome Part 2. We'll just call them that. So in the first one, you sort of deal with same old Foot Clan soldiers. You know, just fight them, go through certain obstacles. You're in a space station, has a nice space theme, has a nice theme song. But, you know, when you're at this point, it'll have these. These are my second favorite enemies. Jesus Christ. See, in the arcade game, you can hit these guys regardless. In the Super Nintendo game, they make it so they dodge and dodge and dodge and dodge, and you can't hit, and you can't go anywhere, and you can't do shit! And, so at the end of that, you, finally get to the boss fight, which is... Wait. Taka and... Razar? Mama! So, you see, they're usually on the ship level, which is like long after that. But in this, they decided to move the boss battles right on back to the Technodrome stage. Don't ask why. So they'll just consist of moving around. They'll have fire. They'll shoot fire at you. And then the other has ice at you and freezes you. They don't really do much damage, just keep attacking. You actually have to kill both of them, unlike a certain boss fight in the future that we'll be talking about. And so, after you defeat those two, an electric cage, it shuts off, and then you have to go through an elevator. And guess what you gotta fight? The big Foot Clan soldiers with the dodging technique! Yay! And I'm serious, these assholes are a pain, even in easy mode. Easy mode is supposed to be easy, game! Why do you torture me? So, back to the game. See, after you go through the elevator, you go to the Shredder boss, the first Shredder boss. They decided to add a Shredder boss where he just has a machine, and this is where you have to use the technique of throwing the soldiers at the stage, and thank God it's not the dodging ones. You got that part right. So you just throw them at Shredder, throw them at Shredder, throw them at Shredder, and then his mech is destroyed, and that's where he'll banish you to prehistoric Turtlesaurus. That's where the difference goes in. He'll send you there, and that'll be like the 6th or 5th level you go to. So after going through a barrage of all the Foot Clan soldiers, including the dodging assholes, we get to the even worse enemy. Why is it that when in the arcade game, they just approach you and you can actually hit them, but in the Super Nintendo game, they do this off-screen charging chuck bullshit? Why do I get up, and even in easy mode, you go pulling the charging chuck bullshit? You start spam fucking and it start killing me over and over again! Why? What is this bullshit? Why am I so mad? So, after all the time of all the bullshit, you get to even more bullshit! The freaking raptors from Jurassic Park are off screen charging at you! Easy mode is supposed to be easy! Ah! So, yeah. You fight a couple more of those fucking Foot Clan soldiers, then you get to Slash, who dodges even fucking worse than the Foot Clan soldiers. What the fuck? See, I don't know what the fuck that mashed potatoes looking boss in the arcade game is supposed to be, but at least I could actually fucking hit him without fucking 2 players. Trying to hit him on 1 player is like trying to lose 7 fucking lives and then type in the Konami code, realizing it won't fucking work. Oh wait, I'm being told that I actually get 10 lives by doing the Konami code. Fuck. Shit, that would have made things much easier, wouldn't it have? The problem is you gotta hit him on his back, or you gotta hit him while he's jumping. And he does that very rarely. And if you do it at the wrong time, on easy mode, you'll end up getting hit. And you'll get the shit kicked out of you. And you better hope that it's not on normal mode or hard mode, folks. Oh no, because he's much fucking worse. It's like going through hell. And then, after that, you get to the ship stage. The ship stage in the arcade game is originally where Taka and Razar make their debut, but this time they made it a little different. You have more of those rock motherfuckers! You have these planks that get to bullshit you and take 2 bars of damage, and you got the dodging abortion Foot Clan soldiers. Howdy folks! We're going to the big leagues if we beat this bullshit! So after dealing with all the off-screen bullshit and all the planks that could easily attack you, you get to bebop and rock steady. Say goodnight, shellbrains. So, they're not too bad. You could actually just kill one of them, and then they'll kill each other. See, all they do is just throw a whip, swing a sword, jump around, rinse and repeat. You do it in the harder modes, it gets much worse, but meh. And as for the arcade game, they didn't have Rat King or Bebop and Rocksteady or Shredder Mech, so yeah, I can be satisfied with that. So after defeating Bebop and Rocksteady, you get to Neon Light Zone, which unlike the arcade game where you're going left and right, up, down, this one you're just looking forward until you get to the boss, and it's just Foot Clan soldiers over and over again. One hit kill them, and then there's these electric light bulbs that'll shock you at some points, but there's enough pizza around that, you know, you'll do good. Then you get to the first Krang boss. Yield the wrath of Super Krang! So, with him, he'll be easy to hit when he's actually there, but this is where the angling issue comes in. Because at some point, when you're about to kill him, he starts literally dropping balls! And though you think you're away from the shadows, just like when you think you're about to attack them because you think you're on their level, you'll get hit like a bitch. Yes, I am serious. So, see, bitty bam 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 boom, bing bang bang, pew. You're going to pay! So, this is where we will enter the spoiler section. Oh my god! You let them spoil your games for Punch-Out, or Donkey Kong, or Pirate's Curse, and now you're going to let them spoil one of the greatest beat-em-ups of all time? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? So, you go back to the Technodrome, and you go through these obstacles that can, freeze you. You go through Mausers, which, I'm telling you, you can't hit them without them hitting you, taking some damage away. Like, once they get onto you, you gotta mash the fucking attack button until they get off, and there's no guarantee that you won't die, because all it takes is 2 seconds, and these bastards get some damage. Then you get to these robots that'll shock the hell of you. Speaking of which, there's a lot of enemies missing from this game. Instead of adding some charging truck bullshit, some more dodge animations and all that shit, why can't we get the normal enemies that we had in the first goddamn place? No answer? Okay. Moving on. You get the more charging truck bullshit with weapons, and then you get to Krang again! Yes! More Krang! Krang! So, his whole boss fight just consists of, I'm going to shoot bubbles at you and disappear like a coward and send robots after you. and I won't come back unless I gotta spawn more robots. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So after defeating him, you think you're going home, but then you must deal with Super Shredder. Turtle soup, my favorite. I made it funny. And so you defeat him. You know, it's easy as well. But here's my problem. You got a fireball that simply just takes some damage in the arcade game. It takes an entire life with one hit in this game! What the fuck? And so, like, why? Why? Even in easy mode! Even in easy mode! You gotta deal with the life-taking blow! In easy mode! But he's still pretty easy so long as you know what the hell you're doing. But if you beat it in easy mode, you get greeted with Splinter. You're not good enough. You must kick his ass again in normal mode. You're telling me I went through all that bullshit and I gotta do it even harder? So, I did it again. With 2 players. But after I beat it in normal mode, still not good enough. You gotta beat it in hard mode. Yeah, after that I just said fuck you, not doing it, and I looked up the secret ending. So let me get this straight. Why? Why do you get Redhead O'Neil, Master Splinter in public, the toasty guy from Mortal Kombat jumping in the background, and then only see the turtles in a blimp, seeing them all smiling while Raphael is about to fall to his death? That's what you call a good ending? That's bullshit. Huh? That's bullshit. I'm fucking done. I'm done. So, overall, it's still a decent game. I have my complaints, but you play through it, it's actually really, really enjoyable. So, and trust me, you want to take my word for this, I actually prefer this over River City Girls, Streets of Rage 4. Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. So, overall, really good game. Give it a try. If you'd prefer to try the original version, go try the arcade version. But if you want to do Super Nintendo, go ahead. More stuff given to you, more levels, more stuff. More stuff. So, go ahead. Be my guest. This is Heman 1010, bidding you adieu.